that we have in life is good the whole
Without the
time.
shit.
No, you're gonna get a dump. They're gonna dump shit on you. Can you
Life's commitments are a mixed bag. Sometimes they lift you up, sometimes they drag you down. No matter how solid things seem at the start, there's always a chance they'll turn sour. You might find yourself standing there, covered in the mess someone else dumped on you, wondering how to keep going. But here's the thing, you can wipe it off, take a deep breath, and try again. It's not about pretending the mess didn't happen, it's about cleaning up, learning from it, and pushing forward with a new plan. That's resilience in a nutshell. You shake off the dirt, scrub it out from the cracks, and keep moving, even when it stinks. Take Tana and Iman, for example. Their split last year was a textbook case of a commitment gone off the rails. At first, it looked like they were handling it with maturity. Tana even released a statement saying there was no drama, just two people who'd grown apart. It sounded civilized, almost refreshing for a high-profile breakup. But behind closed doors, it was a different story entirely. Iman wasn't interested in a clean break. Reports started trickling out that he wanted everything, not just a fair split, but the whole pie. He allegedly tried to claw back gifts he'd given Tana over the years, and we're not talking small tokens. Think expensive jewelry, designer gear, even a condo that was supposed to be hers. It's the kind of move that makes you wonder how someone can give something with one hand and then demand it back with the other. But Iman didn't stop there. He also reportedly went after Tana's music royalties, money she'd earned from projects that predated their relationship. That's a bold play, trying to stake a claim on work she did before he even entered the picture. It's not just petty, it's disrespectful to her hustle. Tana had been grinding long before Iman came along, building her career from the ground up. For him to act like he was entitled to a cut of that, it's the kind of desperation that screams insecurity. And yet, he kept pushing the envelope, turning what could have been a straightforward divorce into a full-on saga. Then came the child support mess. Iman and Tana have two daughters, Rue and Junie, and you'd think kids would bring out the best in people during a split. Not here. Iman was ordered to pay $8,000 a month in child support, but he cried broke, telling the court he couldn't swing it. Meanwhile, court documents painted a very different picture. This was a guy dropping $14,000 a month on takeout alone. Let that sink in. He was spending thousands on himself, racking up over $100,000 a month in personal expenses, all while claiming he couldn't afford to support his own kids. Tana's legal team wasn't about to let that slide. They came with receipts, proving his lavish lifestyle while he played the victim. It's hard to argue you're strapped for cash when you're blowing six figures on yourself every 30 days. And here's where it gets even messier. Iman allegedly tried to flip the script, arguing that Tana was the bigger earner, so he shouldn't have to pay as much. The nerve of it is almost impressive, spending like a king, but pointing the finger at her to foot the bill. Her team shut that down fast, showing the court exactly how much he was burning through. It wasn't just about the money, though. Some reports claimed Iman was angling for full custody of the girls, which would have flipped the script entirely. If he'd succeeded, he wouldn't just dodge child support, he'd be the one collecting it from Tana. The timing of it all raised eyebrows. Why push for custody now, after months of relative quiet? It didn't add up unless you factored in what came next. Tana moved on. Enter Aaron Pierre, a British actor who's been making waves in Hollywood. After keeping her personal life under wraps for a while, Tana stepped out with Aaron, and the vibe was unmistakable. They started popping up at events together, looking cozy and unbothered. When Aaron won a Rising Star award, Tana was right there, giving him a hug that said more than words ever could. It wasn't a polite, good job kind of embrace. It was the real deal, full of pride and connection. Fans ate it up, cheering her on for finding happiness after the chaos. She'd stayed classy through the divorce drama, focusing on her kids and her career, and now here she was, thriving with someone new. It was a glow-up in every sense. But guess who didn't like that? Iman. The second Tana started looking too happy, he flipped a switch. Suddenly, he was back in the game, reportedly pushing for full custody of Rue and Junie. The move reeked of spite. Where was this energy when Tana was single, quietly raising the kids and keeping things low-key? He'd been fine coasting along, but the moment Aaron entered the picture, Iman decided he needed to shake things up. It didn't feel like a coincidence. Social media lit up with speculation. people calling it toxic ex behavior, plain and simple. One fan put it bluntly, Iman wasn't fighting for custody when he was out spending thousands on himself. But now that Tana's got a new man, he's father of the year. The skepticism was loud and clear. The allegations only fueled the fire. Tana's camp claimed Iman wasn't exactly a model dad when the kids were with him. Stories surfaced about him smoking weed around them, forgetting to feed them, even sending them off in a rideshare alone while he rolled up to the United Center Arena in Chicago with a private driver. If true, it's the kind of negligence that makes you question his priorities. So why the sudden custody push? Was it really about the kids, or was it about sticking it to Tana? The optics weren't good. It started to look like a power play, an attempt to keep her tied up in legal battles, stressed out, and off balance just as she was finding her footing again. Rewind to the start of this mess, and it's wild how far things veered from Tana's initial statement. No drama, just growing apart turned into a circus of greed, ego, and petty games. Iman's moves, trying to reclaim gifts, chasing her royalties, dodging child support, painted a picture of a guy who couldn't let go. And not just of Tana, but of the lifestyle he'd enjoyed when they were together. Back then, he had NBA money, endorsements, and reality TV clout. Now his star's fading while Tana's keeps rising. She's booking roles, dropping music, killing it in fashion, building an empire he can't touch. Some fans think that's the real sting for him, watching her win without him while he struggles to stay relevant. The custody fight feels like the final straw. It's not just about money anymore, it's about control. When Tana was single, Iman didn't seem pressed to play superdad. But the second she linked up with Aaron, he's out here acting like he can't live without the kids. It's giving jealousy, plain and simple. If he can't have her, he'll make sure she can't move on in peace. Dragging her into court, even if he doesn't win, costs her time and energy. It's a win for him either way, because it keeps her from fully letting go. And that's the shady part, using the kids as pawns in a game that's really about his ego. Meanwhile, Tana's not buckling. She's out here living her life, raising Rue and Junie, and building something real with Aaron. The internet's rooting for her, fans are hyping up her resilience, saying she deserves this new chapter. Aaron's a catch, no doubt, talented, grounded, and clearly into her. Their chemistry's got people buzzing about whether they'll last, and so far the signs point to yes. They're solid, and she's not letting Iman's antics dim her shine. That's the kind of strength that turns a messy breakup into a comeback story. So what's the deal with Iman? Is he genuinely worried about the kids, or is this just bitterness dressed up as concern? The evidence, or lack of it, leans hard toward the latter. He wasn't making waves when Tana was flying solo, but the minute she's happy, he's got a problem. It's textbook ex-drama. If he can't move on, he'll make sure she struggles to. The kids deserve better than being caught in that crossfire, and Tana deserves to live without the shadow of his spite. As for her and Aaron, they're looking like a power couple in the making, proof that sometimes the best way to handle a dump is to clean up and keep it moving. What do you think? Is Iman in it for the kids, or just out to mess with Tana? And can she and Aaron go the distance? The tea's still hot. Drop your take and stay tuned for the next sip.